which AI tools are you using the most? Are there any that I shouldn't use?
Any that you shouldn't use? Okay. Well, I'll answer this in two parts. So AI tools that from a creative director with a art direction and design background, this is how I'm answering this question. So what I do use, Photoshop generative fill. I think it's called like Firefly 3. That is an incredible addition to any designer's practice. I use ChatGPT to help me craft Sora prompts because Sora needs to be spoken to in a very particular way. And I found that I don't naturally write. If anyone's used a Sora, wants to get a successful Sora image, it likes to be spoken to in a very sing-songy, whimsical, narrative way. And I often ask ChatGPT to help me craft that Sora prompt, and then Sora as an image generation tool. I've also had to play with Midjourney, but I haven't been able to find an appropriate opportunity to incorporate that into my ideation phase for my work. And then I suppose Google AI overview, it pops up. Sometimes I look, but I always try and scroll past to make sure I'm getting sort of accurate results. So with that encompassed, I think the way that I use them is a light touch. I'm still sort of teetering on the fence of how they should be used. And I think that's kind of maybe how I would answer the second half of the question. So are there any that they shouldn't use? Instead of saying ones that you shouldn't use, because I don't feel totally qualified to answer that, to be honest, I feel like I'll say I would encourage you to think when you are using them and why you are using them, and what biases and stereotypes is it generating so that we can counteract that. So I think that's a really important part of our job as people in advertising. We are reflections of society. So we need to reflect back what we want to see, what we want to see and hear and think. So that's a short answer to that question. I did hear, and I've had this note in my notes app for ages, and I don't know who originally said it, but it was, I've been coming back to it a few times, and the quote is, there's never not been a problem with humans having great ideas. And what I really love about that is that it's right. We are very amazing beings. We're very creative. We can come up with incredible thoughts and ideas, and using the sort of AI suite of tools that's at our disposal now as tools to help prompt those ideas is probably the best way forward, or the way that I see it at this stage. But I've been in a few conversations about how we use AI in our practice, and it's changing every day. At this stage in my argument, it's that we need to be aware of biases and be highly educated in what imagery and what stuff we want to be putting out there, and never using it in a super public way where we're stealing other people's work. So at this stage, I use AI in only ideation phases, which has been super successful with a couple of ideas when in the past I've had this like wacky image in my head. I'm like, I don't know how to get it on the paper, and we don't have budget for an illustrator. I'll just scrap that idea. I've been able to actually show the client, see this wacky idea in my head. I know it's going to work, and they've been able to see something that I can see. Yeah. So that's been a very beneficial part of image generation at this stage. But yeah.
That's great. I've also just popped in the chat a link to, we've got research out at the moment. So if you also have thoughts on AI, we're coming at it from what's AI doing to the creative industry's mental health, and how we're using it, and what's good, what's bad, what are we worried about, what are we excited about. Please go and give your thoughts on that research.
On that note, Andy, I just wrote a couple of articles for the MFA on psychosocial safety issues connected to AI. So
yeah, great.
One was really focused on AI sort of eating starter skills. And the other one was focused on the dangers associated with using AI for sort of that deep sort of creative thinking. You know, and how that can over time take away people's confidence, or can even lead to sort of a sense of injustice, you know, if someone's used AI completely for that process. You know, and then somehow they're blamed for it, but it's AI that's delivered.
Yeah.
Or not being able to defend their thought process. And, you know, and the whole starter skill stuff is really concerning, because there's so much that gets learned through, you know, just repetitive tasks, you know, that seems simple, but it just lays the foundations, builds confidence. Anyway, I'll send you the articles if you like.
That'd be excellent. We will we'll put them in the newsletter.
It's funny, like all those soft skills that, you know, you learn through honestly just doing it. Like I'm thinking like email etiquette, right? Like these things that you learn through practice and watching and things. And I wonder if that skill gets lost, what is lost with it. And
even collaboration, you know,
yes,
because, you know, you're collaborating with a machine, but it's very different collaborating with a human being.
We volunteered at Vinnie's yesterday, and it was like a team bonding experience, but I actually ended up in a room on my own, which was air conditioned, which was nice. I've never used a laminator before, and I laminated 80 sheets of paper. And you know what? I quite liked it. It was nice.
Like the Karate Kid. Remember the
It was, yeah. It was wax on, wax off for about 2 hours. But it was something different, and it was something that a machine didn't take over, you know. Okay, obviously I had the laminator, but